We move on to 1 p.m. Eastern. The aforementioned Minnesota Vikings at Carolina Panthers. Vikings 2-3, 0-2 on the road. Panthers 3-2, 2-1 at home. We're at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Vikings come in off barely getting by the Detroit Lions 19-17 at home. Let's see what we are dealing with. I'll move back to full game here. Money lines and totals. And let's get to work. The Panthers opened up as 1.5-point favorites. That's flipped to the Vikings, who are now 1-point favorites. This total opened up at 47.5. We now see 46.5 and 46. Arthur Meade Jr. says Carolina Panthers get back on track, and Ron Crawford says under. Let's move over to the cash flow. And my first instinct, in all honesty, is that we might have a bit of a recency bias on the Vikings being unable to score. And I'm sure Zimmer hates himself for how he handled that Lions game, and he knows he deserved to lose that spot. I wonder now. Look, we'll break it all down. Let's take a look at what the cash is doing. 4,211 tickets in, 64% of the tickets on the Panthers, 54% of the cash. God, it feels like the Vikings and the Cousins are the play. 61% of tickets on the over, 55% of cash on the over. So bets coming in on the under. Real Deal Prime says good Panther spot. Dommy Gun says if they're going to be a workman-like type game, it won't be till mid-third quarter. I hear that. Rams first half team, which I don't want anything to do with, but Rams first half team total would then be in business. All right, let's go. Vikings come in off that 1917 win at home. Greg Joseph made the 54-yard field goal as time expired, giving Vikings 1917 win, and they didn't deserve it. Dan Campbell went for 2. It was a great call, and left 37 seconds on the clock. And if you have any memory of Minnesota Vikings kicking, you know that they miss. And they cashed it. 55-yarder. I saw 54-yarder at some places, but it says 55-yarder here. So Joseph had a 49-yard attempt with 3:17 remaining. It fell short. Then he cashes the 55. Vikings have now not scored a second-half touchdown for 4 straight weeks. Kirk Cousins, 25-34 for 275 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. With Cousins being unvaccinated, I do want to wait. I want to wait before I make Minnesota bets. I fucking hate that. I hate that's in my head. Justin Jefferson caught 7 passes for 124 yards. Thielen, just 2 for 40. KJ Osborne had the great start to the year, just caught 3 passes for 14 yards. Alexander Mattison was a beast with Dalvin Cook out of the lineup. By the way, Dalvin Cook's missed 23 of 69 regular season games in his career. Madison, 25 carries for 113 yards, caught 7 passes, 40 yards, 1 touchdown. The defense got 4 sacks, 7 quarterback hits. Defensive tackle Michael Pierce was inactive. He got hurt last week. Armin Watts replaced him in the starting lineup. Both Pierce and Cook are listed as questionable this week. Panthers come in off a disappointing 21-18 loss at home to the Eagles. They're 3-0 with McCaffrey, 0-2 without him. But Chuba was great. 101 yards rushing on 24 carries. First 100-yard rushing game of his career. Darnold, worst game in the Panthers uniform, 21-37, 177 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. Back-to-back losses to Dallas and Philadelphia. He's been hit 19 times and sacked 8. DJ Moore led receivers with 5 catches for 42 yards. But Robbie Anderson and him, they continue to struggle. He was open a couple times, and Darnold just missed him. Gilmore is expected to be activated off the physically unable to perform list. So that's this week. So Stephon Gilmore is expected to be in the lineup. Linebacker Shaq Thompson, running back Christian McCaffrey, offensive tackle Cameron Irving were inactive last week and are questionable to return this week. What an interesting game here, Bebsie. Vikings, Panthers, take it away.
It's interesting that you thought there'd be recency bias with the Vikings, but not recency bias given that Carolina's lost their last 2 games and looked bad this week in doing so. That having been said, I think it's Minnesota or no play here. Just again, I think I agree with your idea. I just think I think there could be recency bias both ways here. Because if Carolina wins this week and they're sitting here at 4-1, are they -1 in this game? I don't think so. Or sorry, +1 in this game. I don't think so. So, look, it's a hard play for me because I still don't know what to make of the Panthers. I think I know what to make of the Minnesota Vikings, and I do think the Minnesota Vikings will continue to get better as the season goes on, and I think they'll be looking at a potential wild card spot come playoff time. I don't know if I think the same about the Panthers. Stephon Gilmore for a 6th-round draft pick is incredible. So that should help, especially if he is healthy and ready to go. I don't know why the Niners are in desperate need for corners. I don't know why they couldn't make that happen somehow, but that's a completely unrelated story. But, yeah, I just think it's Vikings are no play here. I do trust what Kirk Cousins can do. I don't know what kind of Stephon Gilmore we're going to see this week. He hasn't played in some time. If it's Stephon Gilmore of old, congratulations. They found a great replacement for the injured J.C. Horn. But I believe tough spot for Carolina. I think Minnesota rolls, and it almost feels like it's more of a gut thing than anything right now.
And Birdie says, like I said, the only bet I've decided on this weekend is Vikings money line. Am I crazy here? Should I just let this shit go of wanting to wait? Like, I was afraid to put in the Vikings as my survivor pick until the last possible second because he's not vaccinated. I do not want to have money on the Vikings and have him be put in protocol. And you have to think it's probably going to happen once this year. Right? It was just crazy. Should I just let this shit go and start? Oh, should I just let this shit go?
I mean, probably. Probably. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It feels like if they're not being put on a COVID list on Monday, it won't happen. But yeah, I wish I had an answer for you. I don't.
Both quarterbacks in this game are unvaccinated.
Really?
Yeah. Vikings, Panthers. I completely get a buy low spot on the Vikings. I think the Vikings just have a much higher ceiling than the Panthers, even if McCaffrey is healthy, which he could be. There's a lot of moving parts in this game. There's going to be a lot of information that's going to come out over the next few days. And I'm going to wait and get that information. So no move for me. Bebsie, is there anything you want to do here?
I'm good. Although I admire Birdie, and I think that's probably the right play.
I think so, too. I think it's probably the right play. And I may move on it by the time we get there. Dutch Boy Fresh says, Justin Jefferson being lights out, averaging 92 yards, 6.5 receptions a game. I look for that to continue. Alvin Smith joining us. Cindy Plays Horses says, I would let it go, but wait till Friday to bet if you have to think they have gone almost 2 years and been clean. And Crystal Warren says, Thanksgiving and bye weeks would be when I'd worry about them in COVID. Todd Reeves says, vaccinated or not, they can still get it. Oh, I understand that. That's not the question. It's just that the protocol is so much different. If you're vaccinated and you get popped on a Monday or Tuesday, you can play on Sunday. If you're not, you're not playing. You know, that's the difference. It's not about who can get it vaccinated or not. Nothing to do with that. Just has to do with what you have to go through if you are a close proximity even. That's all it is. That's all it is. Okay, no move for us with Vikings and Panthers.